This is a PokePress Special Report. Hi, I'm Stephen Reich here at the Pokemon Trading Card Game Midwest Regionals 2010. I'm here with Ed Mandy, who is actually part of a family that has a second generation of Pokemon fans. So Ed, first of all, you were actually played the game when it originally came out about 10 or 11 years ago. How did you get into it then?
We were playing Magic the Gathering a lot, and at that time, so we were kind of interested in card games, and we played at a card shop called Mirkwood, and they started getting Pokemon cards, and we watched the Pokemon TV show, so we thought, this would be kind of cool to play. So we got into it pretty good. At the time, it was really hard to find, cards to play. Really hard to find energy, and I don't know. We'd put decks together, and the first tournament that I played in, I remember I just threw a deck together from two of the pre-constructed. There's like a 2 half deck pre-constructed deck thing. And anyway, we started playing, and we kind of got into it and played in tournaments and stuff. And then just after Fossil came out, we kind of gave up on it. I don't really remember why, but we kind of stopped playing.
But then many years later, over a decade later, you're back here again. You're actually playing it again. It has something to do, I believe, with your 6-year-old daughter. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah, my daughter Ava started getting interested in Pokemon a little bit. I had an old Game Boy game, and I thought, this would be kind of cool because she's kind of interested in it. And maybe she didn't really know how to play it at first, but I thought, maybe it'd help her learn to read. She'll be, be an incentive to learn to read. And so she started doing that, and she started getting into that pretty well. And I said, I have these old cards. We could play some, card game. And, at first we put together some little 30-card decks out of just stuff I had laying around, and she kind of got the hang of it. And, we put together some stuff, and then I remembered about a card shop called Dreamers, and we went over there one time, and they were having Pokemon League, and she played a little bit there, and we went back a couple times and brought our old decks, which they count as legal for League, but it didn't really match up real well against the stuff that they had there. So started getting into the newer stuff and kind of got meeting people there.
So you got back into the game. Was that sort of for lack of a better term, sort of a future shock, or how difficult was it to adjust to any of the changes that had been made to the game in the interim?
I would say as far as gameplay goes, it wasn't that big of a deal. There was weird things like you couldn't play trainers on your first turn, and you couldn't retreat more than once and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of new cards that we didn't know about. I'd seen stadiums. Supporters really made me mad because you could only play one a turn, stuff like this. But for the most part, the game played pretty well. It was just the big thing was when we played, we only played with base set and jungle and a little bit of fossil, and there wasn't that many cards. It was just the overwhelming amount of cards that you'd have to know to play the game now. I thought, I can use all these old cards, I was kind of used to Magic cards where all the old cards are really worth something, and so I brought all my old Pokemon cards, and I thought, I could trade for, some of these newer cards, and everybody's like, I don't want those. So it took a while to get a lot of new cards. I started asking people if I could borrow some cards here and there, and I got to know some people pretty well because of that.
But judging by the fact that you and your wife and your daughter all played in this tournament, I guess you must have figured out in the end it was worth it, huh?
Yeah, it was. We got to meet some pretty good people at Dreamers. A guy named Abdi and a guy named Omar that we kind of ended up hooking up with to play, tracked us and stuff like that. And they really got us into it and really helped us learn all new cards and how to play decks better and stuff like that. And we ended up being kind of on a team with them. And I don't know, it's worked out pretty well. We hooked up with the right people, and Ava's interested in it, so it's kind of fun to bring her to tournaments now. And my wife came and played, even though she's not quite as interested as us. So it was fun, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Ed. This has been Stephen Reich reporting from the Pokemon Trading Card Game 2010 Midwest Regionals. This has been a PokePress special report.